All right, so I've heard that there's been some backlash from having tourists come into Europe, specifically down in Spain. Seems like some of the locals are not for it anymore and don't want tourists there. I don't know. I'm not too sure what's going on. I got some videos lined up that we're going to check out. I'm curious, as an American, someone who's really starting to discover Europe, all the different cultures, the countries. I want to come visit, I want to connect with people there. Kind of puts a little damper on that when I hear that they don't really want tourists there. So I don't know, maybe could be wrong. It could be something political that's not really related to tourists, but to the government and what's happening with housing. Everything's expensive pretty much everywhere, it seems like. So I don't know. Let's just dive straight in. Buckle up. All right. So first one we're starting with is going to be from CBS. And this came out just a couple of days ago. It's kind of what I saw on my feed that had me curious of what's going on. So let's go ahead and check it out.
You have a European vacation coming up. This is important. This is for you. New rules for tourists that can cost you big bucks if you break them. For instance, no barefoot or flip-flop drive-in if you're in a rental car in France, in Spain, in Italy, or in Greece.
I don't
Gotta
get
have
that one.
Closed-toe shoes, apparently.
All right, so this is the first one. Seems just a little crazy to tell people that are renting cars, tourists, that they're not allowed to drive the car barefoot, which I honestly think is one of the most safest ways to drive cars. I don't know if you guys ever driven a car when you have flip-flops on and you take the flip-flops off and drive barefoot. You can literally feel everything. So it's flip-flops, I understand if it's the company doesn't want you driving the flip-flops. That could definitely be an issue, but yeah, this is the first one. What other rules do we have here?
You can get a $350 fine if you violate that one. And if you're visiting Barcelona, Cannes, or Venice, don't wear a bikini or swim trunks in the streets. Church rules there. You can be fined $1,750. That is a big penalty.
I don't really see a problem with that one. They don't want people wearing swimsuits out on the street. Not a big deal. Seems like most women, when they wear swimsuits, they have those little shirts that kind of go over. Is that okay? Are you allowed to do that? I don't know. So far, not too bad.
And if you plan to visit a city in Portugal's, I don't actually know the name of this region, Algarve region? Not even sure, but I do agree with these rules here. Kind of rules to live by. Don't spit on the ground. Nope. Don't urinate in public. And do not perform sexual acts where other people can see you. That would be a no-no. Those fines, $2,100. But really, I don't know who's doing that.
Don't they already have laws against those things?
Who do they think we are? I'm insulted as an American that they had to put that up. They felt that's what we were going to bring.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. Nobody should be doing that in any city. Pissing and having sex out in the street. A little crazy. I mean, I know a lot of Europe countries have much more lax nudity laws or guidelines, but yeah, you shouldn't be getting down with your partner in the middle of the street. Let's check out some of the comments. This one says, it's not rules for tourists, it's rules for everyone. Okay. It's embarrassing that this has to be outlined. I don't know about other tourists from other countries, but I don't see Americans coming and defecating on the sidewalk. It just doesn't happen. This one says church rules, just common decency. Yeah, it doesn't really have to be church rules. Basic rules, by the way. Okay, I think we're all on board that these are just basic rules that we all need to follow. Let's check out the next one.
A furious hotel worker fought back against an anti-tourism group who tried to seal off his workplace in Barcelona.
Jesus.
Thousands of people took...
Did he just pop out a Zin out of his lip right there? Pretty sure that's what he just did.
...to the streets across Spain to demonstrate against overtourism on Sunday.
Overtourism.
Authorities in the northeastern Spanish city said around 600 people joined the demonstration over the weekend. Mail Online has approached the hotel for comment.
They squirting them with water guns? Yeah, I kind of feel bad for this business owner because he's probably losing a ton of business with less tourists coming in and them basically protesting anyone that wants to come visit the country. I'm assuming that this has something to do with housing prices going up, more Airbnbs in the city, which means there's less availability for the people that live there to actually find housing. Could be increased prices in pretty much anything else in the local economy, food, groceries. I'm just assuming that's probably gotta be what it is. And they're trying to find someone to blame, so they blame the tourists. When in reality, I would assume it's probably the government. Let's check out the comments. Why are they acting like their economy isn't fostered by tourism? They must have a lot of tourists. Why are they destroying his business? Absolutely wild times. I don't know if I saw any destroying of wild businesses. I think he was just a little pissed off. This one says, without tourism, Barcelona would be doomed. Barcelona doesn't realize their economy comes from tourism. Okay, so Barcelona must have like a really big inflow of tourists come each year. All right, let's check out the next one. I gotta get some more information on this.
If you were thinking about visiting Spain this year, don't. Because they don't want you. You see, recently a number of anti-tourism protests have been carried out by locals. But today, they went as far as shouting at people go home while spraying water guns at tourists while they were just sitting down eating. Guests were even prevented from leaving their hotels after protesters taped up the exits. And it's not just a few people that feel this way. Tens of thousands of people.
Telling you right now, I'm running straight through that tape like I'm Forrest Gump trying to find Jenny. He ain't gonna lock me in some building. Are you out of your mind? But spraying people while they're just eating lunch, that's kind of effed up. How do they know they're tourists? I gotta find out more.
Of people have joined these campaigns in countries around the world. Locals in cities from Rome to Venice to Amsterdam, Lisbon, Prague, Santorini, and even many places in Japan and Bali. Well, they've become so frustrated with tourists jamming up streets, making noise, partying, littering, and driving up the prices of housing. They say that a number of the most...
Wait. Did that say tourist flats? Tourist flats displace families. Okay, I think we're onto something. It does have something to do with housing. I thought that they only called flats like a house a flat in the UK though. I didn't know they did it down in Spain as well.
Prices of housing. They say that a number of the most iconic destinations around the world have become both unlivable for locals and too overcrowded, unsafe, and uncomfortable for visitors. But because tourism contributes to a country's economy quite significantly, you probably won't be seeing any flat-out restrictions anytime soon. You might just get a few more nasty looks and feel a lot more unwelcome. So the question is, do you agree with locals and tourism is getting out of hand? Or will this not deter you from your holiday this summer?
That's pretty wild, man. I would love for people to come visit my city. I think that'd be great. I don't live in a big, attractable city. I live close to one, Nashville, and we get tons of tourists all the time from every country. I've met plenty of people down there from all over Europe or Asia or South America. They all come to Nashville. They absolutely love it, and it's good for the economy. I don't know. What do you guys think? You guys have a better idea of exactly what's going on in your countries with tourism? Is it a problem? Do you guys not want tourists? I'm really curious because a lot of the time I get comments from you guys that are like, oh, you'd love to see Germany or come to Netherlands. Seems like you guys want tourists, but it seems like it's just a specific area that's really not having it. And what was it? Barcelona just isn't having it. Let's check this one out.
Stay away from Spain, whatever you do. You're not welcome. Tourists aren't welcome. That's what we were all told, wasn't it? About 6 months ago. You remember that? People squirting other people in Barcelona with water pistols saying, get out of our country. Well, it turns out that's exactly what people have done. And now the Spanish are saying, oh, where are the tourists? Where are the tourists? We haven't got any money. All our jobs are going. Be careful what you wish for, people. You start spraying tourists and telling them to stay away, they're going to do just that. Here's a tip if you're thinking of going to Spain. Well, I can tell you the flights are ridiculously cheap. When I looked 2 days ago, managed to get to Mallorca for 49 quid each way. That's crazy.
Dang.
Here's an even bigger tip. Only go if you have to. I'm going for work. Otherwise, make the Spanish suffer. If they don't want us there, don't go. Don't give them your money. There are plenty of other places to go instead.
That's crazy. He's just flat out like, don't go. I wasn't really expecting that. Title of the video says, be careful what you wish for. 6 months ago, Spanish residents were wanting tourists to stay away. Now they complain that there are less jobs and money worries. Some would say it is karma. I don't know if I would call it karma. It just might be people uneducated how the economy works. I gotta see the comments on this one though. Someone says, Portugal is beautiful and the people are amazing. Okay. Portugal's lovely. I'm not anti-Spain or any Spanish, just anti-anywhere that tells me I'm not welcome. Same applies to Wales. That seems valid. Travel agent here. We got a travel agent. After seeing what Spain was communicating, I have stopped recommending Spain. Actually, most of Europe isn't welcoming. He said, well done. Europe's not welcoming? Come on, guys. Please tell me otherwise. I'm coming. I want to see it. There is nothing worth visiting in Spain anyway. Take away the sun, and it has about as much to offer as Rasmus Holjund. I don't understand the reference because I don't know that city. But I don't know. Spain seems cool. Dude, every country has something cool. Tourists or the British? Are they mad at the British? No, it's got to be Americans. Nobody likes Americans. This one says, welcome to Greece. Yeah. Checked out a Greece video the other day, heading up to the top of my list. Greece looks absolutely phenomenal. All right, let's check out the next one.
So if you follow me, you know that I'm an American and I live in Spain. I'm married to a Spanish person. My children are Spanish passport holders. I work for a Spanish company and I pay taxes here in Spain. This is where I live. I tend to stay away from topics that could be potentially controversial. I receive more comments like this and I'm watching the news. I feel like I need to share my thoughts. Do I think that it's okay that tourists are being attacked with squirt guns or being yelled at or being protested about? No. Do I think that there's a problem with mass tourism? A lot of people moving into Spain, rent prices go really high and making it almost impossible to buy houses? Yes. That's not the tourists' fault. In fact, in Spain, tourism is a massive industry and makes up almost 12% of the GDP.
12% of the GDP? That's huge. 12%? Okay, and also she said that tourism. Hold on. What did she say?
Being protested about? No. Do I think that there's a problem with mass tourism? A lot of people moving into Spain, rent prices go.
A lot of people moving into Spain. I wouldn't really consider that tourism. Tourism is where you're coming and visiting for a short amount of time, like a week or something, maybe a couple of weeks. Moving into Spain, those are what we call immigrants. Maybe like the two topics are kind of getting blended a little bit. Like a lot of people are moving into Spain and there's also a lot of tourism. So it kind of just gets labeled as tourists go home. Are they calling people that are moving there for like actual work and like to live there? Are they calling them tourists? Like, oh, you're a tourist here, when really they're like an immigrant? I feel like that might be the case.
Really high and making it almost impossible to buy houses? Yes. That's not the tourists' fault. In fact, in Spain, tourism is
she's calling people buying houses tourists.
Almost 12% of the GDP. Outside of that, provides jobs for about 2.75 million people. That's a lot of jobs. That's why it's so important that the government gets involved, protects the people that live here in Spain, protects Spanish people, because it is getting out of control. If you are a tourist visiting Spain, you follow some general human rules. It should just be rules that you really follow, general rule of life, or if you're going to travel anywhere. Respect the people around you, respect the space that you're in, respect where you're visiting. Spain is not going to change to you. You are visiting a new culture, which means that you should probably try to take on some of the ways of life that are happening here while you're visiting.
Yeah, for sure.
Do a much more enriching travel experience. So do I think that Spain has a problem with mass tourism, crazy rent prices, and it being impossible to get into houses? Yes, I do. That problem is the fault of tourists and we should take it out on them? No, I don't.
Okay, getting a little bit more bits of information here. Let's check the comments on this. This one says, Airbnb is the problem globally. Homes need brought back into the pool for sale or rent. Yeah, Airbnb is just... It was like a huge boom back in, 2021. Everyone was buying houses and Airbnb-ing them. And a lot of them are going up for sale now. This one says, we have a housing crisis here too in Australia. I carry a water sprayer around with me so I can spray Spanish tourists I see in the city, especially when they're eating and ruining their holiday. I think he's being a little sarcastic there. This one says, so true. I'm from Barcelona. And yes, mass, I think she meant tourism, is out of control. But that's not tourists' fault, but the government. Yes, could be the government's fault. Same here in Miami. All right, let's check out one more.
We're at the Arc de Triomphe in Barcelona, and you know how they've been like hating on tourists? I'm pretty sure this guy is literally just standing here to purposely be in the way of people's photos, like 100%. Let me show you. So here's the Arc, and this is where most people are pulling up trying to get a photo right here. And this guy has literally just been standing here for 10 minutes since we got here, like not moving. He's not with anyone. He's 100% just standing here to be in the way of people's photos. Like, come on. 100.
First of all, I wouldn't make a video about this if I was there. Let's just say that much. I probably wouldn't really care too much. People walking around everywhere. Yeah, the dude does seem like he's standing right in front, but people are walking by. There's other people going to be in the photo. You can easily Photoshop this guy out. Let's keep going.
Purposely.
He doesn't seem happy though.
Of people's photos. Like people are trying to get their photos here. And then
she even wrote, only if he knew how easy it is to Photoshop him out of photos. Yeah, that's what I was saying. I mean, you could just Photoshop him out, take 2 seconds.
This bro. And I could be wrong. Maybe that's not what he's doing, but that's where he was standing the entire time. Not smiling, not interacting, literally just standing in the same position. Like, that's literally how he's spending his Saturday.
It's like beautiful outside, 70 and sunshine, and I don't know. That's not how I would spend my Saturday, but each their own.
Just trying to stand there to ruin tourist pictures.
Yeah, literally. That's all.
Messed up.
Huh. I don't know how I feel about this one. I don't really care about this that much. There's a guy standing there. Whatever. Maybe this is just kind of getting, thrown in with all of the tourist stuff that's been going on, but I don't know. This one, what do the comments say? If he has time to stand there, no wonder the Spanish economy has to rely on tourism. Okay, that was a little bit of a burn. That one hurt me. Photoshop, easy removal, no worries. Yeah, for real. Serious questions. Do Spanish people not go on holiday? Do they not work abroad? Because yeah, I guess if you live in Spain, where are you going to go on holiday? You live in where everyone goes on holiday. Someone tell him most phones have the ability to remove objects from photos now. Yeah. Be really funny if we all stopped going and their economy would collapse. Okay, that's dope. What is going on with all the hate, man? So much hate in the world. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up there. Appreciate you watching. Give me your thoughts in the comments. I'm really curious about this. And if you guys have noticed, I put videos out on things that I'm curious about. So I know this may be a touchy subject. I don't know. Let me know what's going on. Give me the down low. Appreciate you guys watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.